What is going on, guys? AJ from the Loading Podcast. Today, me and Arthur are going to be discussing the big topic of Spider-Man being kicked out the MCU. If you're not already aware, this video is a highlight from our podcast. You can check it out in pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. Links will be down below in the description. For the gameplay, we got some Overcooked going on right now, and enjoy the video. Good for Sony, I guess. Another Sony making these big business decisions. And speaking of Sony making big business decisions,
the big topic of today,
we're gonna have to separate this and give this its own little highlight.
Yes.
But what's been in the news, everybody has been talking about. Everybody and their moms are talking about for the last 24 hours. Spider-Man is getting the boot out the MCU, my guy.
Sony was like, yoink! I'm taking my shit back.
This is like
I ain't sharing no more.
This is like a kid who at the playground who gets tired of sharing his toys, and he starts bullying the other kids.
This is my shit. I regret. Well, no, I don't regret, but like, yo, I let you share with a little bit, but your time is up.
Okay, seriously though, what do you think of this?
What I think of it is, how was it like exactly? Like, were they gonna try to? Was Marvel trying to renegotiate a deal with them?
Okay, so let me explain what went down.
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
So for those of you who are not aware, okay, so the deal that Marvel and Sony had prior to this,
yes,
back in I think it was 2015 or 2016,
probably 2015.
Was they said, okay, we're gonna have Spider-Man come into the MCU. They're gonna do a deal for 5 movies.
Yes.
5 movies, and those movies were Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, and the 2 Spider-Man movies, Homecoming and Far From Home. That was the deal.
Yes. So
basically, what we're talking about splits. Their original deal was Marvel get 5% of all the money they make, right?
Yes.
They get 5 out of all that, and Sony keeps the 95.
That's very small.
But
yes,
Marvel has all the merchandising rights.
Okay, so which means that they can sell as many like Spider-Man hats or things that they want to.
Exactly. So they can use all the Far From Home merchandising. Marvel gets all that.
Okay.
That's the deal they had going on.
All right, so now wait, explain to me then, right? So now that Sony basically has Spider-Man once again for themselves, they're not sharing any of their shares anymore.
But hold on.
Yes.
This is what happened.
So
they wanted to renegotiate because the 5 deal had just the 5 deal plan.
Wait, who wanted to renegotiate?
I mean, the contract was over.
But who wanted to renegotiate is what I was trying to say.
I mean, just natural in business to renegotiate.
Oh,
Marvel wanted to ask for more money.
Really?
Marvel didn't. So the original plan was they were getting 5%. Marvel asked for 50.
Oh, so half and half.
They said, okay, thank you for the 5%. Let's go 50-50. As you know, Spider-Man was just the highest grossing Sony movie.
Yes.
Their highest grossing of all time. And Sony, for Spider-Man Far From Home, made over $1 billion. Marvel saw that. They was like, okay, you want some of that money too. Let's go half and half. Sony said, no, we don't want to go half and half. But Sony also wanted to renegotiate something that was probably more than 5%.
Yes.
But Marvel turned that down. So basically, business 101. You make your offer.
Yes.
I make my rebuttal. You say no. All right. So we're gonna take our producer. We're gonna take Kevin Feige.
Yes.
And we're gonna go home. And you're getting the boot from the MCU. You're not gonna be in any more movies. And you cannot reference anything about Marvel anymore because you gotta understand. I know we didn't see Far From Home, but if you've seen the trailer, it was about Tony Stark. And that Tony Stark played like his death played a huge part in that movie.
Yes, I know.
So it's like go from that in the last movie to now not being able to make any sort of Marvel reference to the MCU at all. And Tom Holland is still on the contract for 2 more movies.
Yes. It
kind of makes it hard. It puts Sony in a very difficult position
because that was the main driving force. I would say that Tony Stark was the main driving force of this version of Spider-Man's this version of Peter Parker.
Yeah, and you gotta understand he was introduced in the MCU, not in a Sony movie.
Yes, he was literally introduced in Civil War because Tony wanted to look for someone because he heard stories about this kid that got bit by a spider that's saving in New York City. He's like, okay, who the fuck is this? All right, I don't want him to go down the path that like we're going through. I want to see if I can help him. Essentially, making him like his son.
Right, and Tony and Peter had a bunch of iconic moments throughout the whole time they had that partnership. Like, how could we forget the Infinity War scene at the end?
I don't feel so good, Mr.
And
Stark.
Endgame, of course. How can we forget Endgame?
Exactly.
Just legendary moments, and it kind of sucks that now he's getting the boot out of the MCU. He will not be mentioned again in the MCU, and vice versa. The MCU will not be mentioned in the Spider-Man.
It's gonna be incredibly weird.
They basically are putting him in the same position that the other Spider-Man franchises were in. It's very weird, honestly. But yeah.
Well, the thing is that whatever they decide to do with Spider-Man now, I mean, as long as they're able to tell like their own story that is at least relatively good. Like, I mean, hey, I still love the old Spider-Man movies to a certain extent. I mean, like, it's possible that they can salvage something out of all of that, but like you say, it's going to be difficult.
Let me also throw something that you may not have known.
Yes.
So the rumors were the next movie might be about Uncle Ben dying again. And so because of this, Uncle Ben was trending on Twitter yesterday, saying that they don't want to see Uncle Ben die again for like the 4th time.
We know it happens.
Because do you realize that, right? This will be I think the 4th time. 3rd or 4th time.
Yes, wait. Uncle Ben died in the original in 2002. He died in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Not Amazing Spider-Man 2, but you know what I mean.
So the 3rd time.
Yeah. Can I just say that in Into the Multiverse, this is a spoiler, but you probably know this. At this point.
Let me guess. Uncle Ben died?
But it's not Uncle Ben.
All right.
It's Spider-Man's uncle. It's not Ben, but...
All right, whatever. All right, so somebody died. All right, great hero, great power, great responsibility.
Great responsibility. We all know how it works. It's been told time and time again. But, I mean...
It's sad. Honestly, this was just a money move.
Yes, I mean, Marvel asked for 50%.
It was purely a money move.
50%.
Keep in mind, Mickey Mouse owns everything, bro.
Yes. Disney owns everything at this point. I mean, how they own
everything.
They own Star Wars. They own Marvel. Like,
actually, let me pull up this meme. I'll put it in the chat. I don't know if you saw this. Hold on, let me show it to you.
Oh my, this is gonna be such a weird time period for Spider-Man now, because I love Spider-Man. You know that. Let me see. Oh yeah, I've seen that.
They just have the Infinity Gauntlet, and they just own everything, bro.
I mean, what do you think of all this? Like, you personally?
I understand why it happened, but it's sad that it had to be this way.
Yes.
Nothing good really lasts forever, and when that much money starts getting being made between those two companies...
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry to cut you off right here, but have you ever seen the show Shark Tank?
Yes.
All right, so you know those types of those moments when the person brings up, like, you know, oh, if you help me, you get like 30% of my business, or maybe 20%. That's their initial offering, right? One of them is like, fuck that. I'm taking 50%, and I'm gonna give you what you want. And then they ask for like ludicrous amounts of like percentage for the holding of their IP, and then they're like, nah. Yo, I remember there was one time where I forgot what's his name, but he offered like, I think $500,000 for 80% of the company.
Yeah,
80%.
And he said no.
He said no, dude. I mean, 80%. You're only stuck with 20. Like, I understand if you need the investment.
It is kind of like that, but you know what it's like? It's like saying, like, hey, let's go into business. 5% for how much? All right, bet. I'll take the 5% deal.
There you go.
All right, our contract's over. Let's renegotiate.
Yes, I got you. What's
I
up?
want 50%. Give me 50.
Why?
Just give me 50. And then he's like, no, I don't want 50.
No, I don't want to give up 50%.
And Marvel was like, well, fuck you then. And then they left.
All right, then. Fuck you, too.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah. Oh, God. I know it's business, and I know it's money, but come on, man. Like, I know they don't give a shit. Well, they probably don't care the fact that so many people just adore this. I think that's actually the reason why. They know that so many people adore this superhero. They know that no matter what movie or project they'll make, they'll buy into it. So Marvel's like, all right, yo, we put Spider-Man back on the map because you guys failed to do it. He's now a household name again. 50% kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So,
but hey, man, it just all came down to the money. But that's unfortunate. But hey,
it sucks. But hey,
I think that's a good place. I think that's a good place to end this conversation off.
Yes, honestly. I think that is actually.
All right. I think we're coming up on